Hey guys, what is up? It is Skullflag44 here with another Black Ops video on the Team LLG channel for you. And today I'm going to be talking about whole sorts of stuff. Like I said before, I'm doing these commentaries just winging it, and where I just don't plan it out much at all. I plan it out a little, like I have some ideas of what I'll talk about if I just get stuck on something, but overall, or I guess the main thing I do is just kind of talk about the gameplay or talk about whatever is on my mind. So to kind of explain this gameplay a little bit, you'll see I'm using the Silence FAMAS, and usually I wouldn't post anything with the FAMAS because I find the FAMAS extremely easy. But this gameplay is kind of unique because I'm going for pro perks. As you can see, I'm level like 41. Yeah, in the corner there you can see 41 of 14 prestige. So I'm trying to get all these pro perks done because I'm not going to be prestiging anymore after this. And right now I'm trying to get lightweight and ninja pro. And for lightweight, you need knife kills and offense medals, where you have to, in offense medals you get by killing someone near their other team's objective, if that makes any sense. So if they took B and I killed them just like that, there's an offense medal right there. And you also have to get silenced kills or suppressed kills, I guess, for Ninja Pro. I'm also going for that, and I thought this was kind of a new unique gameplay because I don't know, it turned out to have like midway through I checked and saw I had like 10 caps, and so I was like, oh man, I can make this an amazing game. And then it didn't really happen all that well, so I was just like, oh, I guess this is kind of cool, interesting gameplay, me trying to get these pro perks. So that's where the gameplay is at, and I think it's kind of entertaining. It's on Summit, kind of high or fast gameplay. And you'll see me like wait for the guys to take the flag so I get those offense medals. So I'm not just like super slow or anything. That's tactfully waiting. And sometimes it doesn't work out all that well, but I give it a try. And this gameplay was recorded about, I don't know, let's see, 2 weeks ago I think. And I just gotten back from camp, so I'm trying to level up my count, because I think I was like 38 before I left for camp, and right now I'm like 41. So that's kind of the thing going on there. But today I just got back from the San Juan Islands, or San Juan Island in the San Juan Islands, and what that is, it's a island in Washington. It's kind of on the corner, like, let's see, northwest corner of Washington. It's this group of islands. It's near Canada, like Victoria, like Sydney, I think, British Columbia, Canada. You can look it up on the map if you're really interested. It's a pretty cool place. You take a ferry over, and so we rented a place over there. I was with my family and Conrad, Condu12, that whole group of people, or one person, and his sister. So that was pretty fun. Really fun time. I'm not going to talk about too much, I don't think, because I want to save a lot of it for the COD 4 series, save those stories for that. But maybe I'll get into it a little bit, I don't really know. But yeah, so that was fun. I had to wake up at like 5:45 this morning because we had to get the crab pot out of the water this morning, and so that was I don't even know what to call it. It was bad waking up in the morning, but doing crab pots and stuff was fun for sure. But I also had to like clean up stuff, and it was just not fun waking up at 5:45 in the morning. And then we had to drive. Our ferry left at like 8:10, and so we had to drive over. We left at like 7, or we got there at like 7, and then we had to wait in the line for about an hour or so. And then we got on our ferry, got on our way, and we got back about 12. Which isn't bad, but it's like 8:55 now. It feels like it should be, I don't know, this day's felt like it's gone on forever. Because at one point I was in an island and playing on the ocean and stuff, and now I'm sitting at home where I've like been at home for the past 9 hours, which is really strange. Today's felt really long, and I'm tired, and that's why I'm not making any sense. But I wanted to get this commentary out to you guys because I thought I had some interesting points to talk about, and yeah, I don't really know. Let's see. One thing I want to talk about is like sports, school, and video games, and how they're all sort of related. And I don't really know a good way to get into a topic like this. Kind of just my transition there wasn't really good at all. But I was just thinking about this. I don't know. I have these topics I think about, and I try to wonder like when I could bring them up, like if they'd fit good in podcasts, or COD 4 commentaries or like the whole live comments group, and I feel one like this is more like just like something you talk about and by yourself sort of thing. I don't know if it doesn't really feel like one that you I don't really know what to call it. Like, I don't know, it just feels right for a normal commentary. And I'm gonna kind of explain my situation with sports and stuff right now. So I started out with sports, doing the whole usual thing. I play like basketball, baseball. I played soccer for a year, but there was kids running around with bags on their heads, so that was a horrible experience, and didn't do that after that first year. And it was, just normal sports experience. And then I was always pretty athletic and good at sports. I don't know, I was pretty talented, you could say, if you wanted to use that word. And then in third grade, I was always interested in football, and I don't know, football I always had fun watching, playing games at school with football, and I was like, you know what, I want to do tackle football, and so in third grade I signed up for that with my friend, and but he's big into hockey. I actually haven't talked to him for a long time. He actually went to Canada to get in like this hockey school thing, and so he's pretty serious about that, I think. But he went to a different school in middle school, so and in elementary school too. So it was only like preschool, but I was still friends with him in elementary school. But after that, I wasn't really, because I didn't get to connect with him all that well. Anyway, we wanted to do like a football together, but he had to like drop out or like quit or whatever because of his hockey thing, and so I was left in there. I knew no one else. I think I met a ton of new people and everything, and there's a big group of like guys that were in the group ahead of the class ahead of me, I guess. And so I never liked that class. They always kind of like scare me. They still do scare me. Those guys. There's some nice guys in there, but I just never know if they're gonna just like beat me up or something like that. I don't know. I'm not really scared to get beaten up. I'm pretty sure I could take a lot of them, but I don't know. I just feel like I just don't like them. And I actually ended up starting on defense, on defensive end, and offense as 4-back, which is like wide receiver. We only had like one wide receiver, and so that was kind of interesting. I was pretty talented, like I said before, and during the summer I'd gone to all the practices. I was pretty good about that. I was like, this isn't all that fun, but it's gonna get better. And there's one day where I remember I was like, I was sitting with my grandma. She was gonna take me to practice, and it was an August day. It was nice out and everything. And I was just thinking to myself, like, I really don't want to go to practice today. It does not sound good at all. And that was kind of the start of my decline in football and sports, I guess. And I don't know, after that I just wasn't really all into it. The practices were ridiculous. My coach was a total a-hole, and I don't know, I just had a pretty horrible experience. I remember there was one week where I didn't go to any of the practices because I was just like dreading it, and I ended up starting every single play on that game because my parents made me go to the game, like support my team, and their coach was like, they talked to the coach, they're like, don't start him because he's got to learn his lesson. If he's not going to go to practices, he's not going to play. And I played every single snap except for one play, so that was kind of ridiculous. I don't know, it was just like, that was just the start of me not liking sports all that much. And then after that, it just, I guess there were some other experiences in there, like, they wanted to try to get me the ball because I was a good player, could run around pretty well, and I just did not want that. Like, I remember one time in the huddle, the coach was calling the play, and my mom or my parents, I guess, had talked to him and said, well, Jack doesn't really want the football, and and he's like, okay, sure, and he said in like the huddle, like, okay, we're gonna hand it off to here, and someone asked like, oh, why aren't we handing it off to Jack? And he's like, oh, he doesn't really want the football. And everyone was like, what? Because all these players, they weren't as good as me, but they wanted the play, had to have the football like that. And I don't know, I thought that was kind of interesting, and that was just kind of like, from then on out, it wasn't the same. And I tried other sports from there, but that was kind of the point where I was like, you know what, the sport thing isn't really for me. And it's kind of interesting for most people. It's like they end up not being all that good at them, and that's why they end up not playing. But for me, it was a totally different experience. Like, I was almost too good, if I could say that. And I don't know. I guess that's my little football story. And then I got into like flag football, and I figured out like playing sports without any without any practices or lots of practices is pretty good. And I also found out that yeah, that was pretty much it. And I guess I never really got into connecting my school and like video game thing, but I can leave that for another commentary because that's a whole nother subject. So that's my little sports story. Hope you guys enjoyed. Pretty interesting gameplay, I thought, and I'm out. And there's the score: 43-21, 14 captures, 7 defends, almost 5,000 score. And now I'm out.